Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Vick. Vick is from Newcastle in England, in the UK. So let's see what Vick has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello. How are you, Vick?
I'm good. It's very good to finally see you and talk to you.
I know we've been trying.
Yes, I mean, you got in touch with me like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
How's it been going? How's your day?
It's been good, actually. Yes, I just went to the gym this morning and I had something to eat, and I'm just here now.
It's amazing.
How about you?
It's been a slow Sunday for me. It's nothing much to look forward to, but then this is the thing I've been looking most forward to this weekend. So that says it.
That's very sweet of you. Am I saying your name right, Vick?
Vick, just Vick. Yeah, Vick will do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Vick, tell me where you're from.
Okay. Me, I was born in Malaysia, and I grew up in Newcastle, England.
Right. And so your parents are from Malaysia?
Yes, and I grew up entirely with my uncle in Newcastle. So basically my whole life I've been in the UK.
And I believe you are now in Malaysia right now.
Yes, I just came back a week ago. Yeah.
So tell me, what do you do for a living, Vick?
Do you want me to start with the end goal or where it started off and leading to the end goal?
Walk me through.
So basically, by profession, I'm a psychologist. Okay, but then the dream was always acting. Acting was always the main goal for me. So I didn't quite have the support when I was younger, because parents, they wanted, they say you have to have a more stable, solid career. So I chose psychology purely for the understanding of, if I study people, I can showcase them through me. So that was the whole idea. So learn, study people, which is somehow related to acting, I believe, but then it's just conveying on the screen. So that's the whole idea. It's like getting to know personalities.
I see. Oh wow, that's amazing. You know what? I as a teenager, as a child, I wanted to be a lawyer. I think it was my teachers, they were kind of saying that I would be a good lawyer because I always liked reading. I loved literature as well at the time, Portuguese grammar, so they thought I'd be a lawyer. But when I look back, I don't think I could be a lawyer. And actually, as a psychologist, I think would be something that's it's something that maybe I was born for. It's something that when I look back and nowadays in my life, I think I still, maybe one day I would like maybe to do a course or something.
Some people I know, they just study it just for the satisfaction of having one of those in their lives. So that could be you.
And I'll share something with you as well. When I was living in Portugal before I moved to England, and I was working in a restaurant over there. And sometimes we had the students. They were doing some like part-time sometimes. And I was this lovely girl. Her name was Karina, and she finished her degree in psychology, and she was spending some time like to save some money in the restaurant as well. And once she told me, I'll never forget that, said, William, through my 4 years in the university, just talking to you, I learned some kind of things that I didn't get it during my time at school.
You'll be surprised how much of it is through people's personalities that you learn and understand things. So yeah, go on and then.
So let's see. Never know. Let's see.
It's amazing. I've met many people like that who some people. I've seen people who study psychology, but they don't have the instinct.
Yeah.
But I've also seen people who do not have any psychological background, but then this natural instinct of reading and understanding people, it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing.
Amazing. So tell me, so nowadays you work as a psychologist and also you do acting as well at the same time.
So the thing is, I was practicing psychology for the last 7 years. Child and adult, so I've been here and there and doing things, and I finally decided, you know what, it's time that I go full on my acting career, because that is always the end goal for me. So about 7 months ago, I moved to London, and then I just, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a shot. But then it was such a struggle getting a job there to sustain. In addition to acting itself. So I took a step back and trying to regroup and seeing what other possibilities I get. And then once I'm there, it's again back to acting.
Amazing. Very good. Vick, before we start our journey, William the Magic Box,
yes.
I would like to tell me something interesting about yourself.
What? Why don't we go on and then you see what's interesting about me?
Sounds good.
I'm never the person to like, like fish something out for myself. It's a bit difficult for me. If you ask me to talk about a character that I need to play, I can go on hours about it. But then me personally, it's a bit difficult to do that. But then, okay, it's interesting. I'll tell you.
So maybe what people tell you more about, they find interesting about yourself. What you hear the most about people around you, they go like, that's very interesting about yourself.
I just love it. I just love the idea of studying characters. That's one thing I think I'm very, very into it. Once I start going into a character, there's like really no way of completely getting me for the next few days, because I will have to have this quota filled of the knowledge of this character that I'm into. So that's one thing. So yeah, basically, I mean, that's the whole idea of acting. So it goes hand in hand. Like, the characters, whether I'm helping people study them or putting them on screen, it's that for me.
Amazing. Vick, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
I'm all in. Let's go. Ready, all buckled up.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. This is my best friend. Full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now, just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect.
Vick, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? I'll verify.
As long as it's not to do with maths, I'm good. As long as it's nothing to do with maths. If you're gonna ask me this times this multiply this, then I'm gonna get stuck. No. You're gonna delay. No maths questions for me.
There are no questions regarding that anyway, so we are safe.
Perfect. Yes.
Cool. Let's go. First question for you is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Procrastination, I think it's a disease. I've time over time, I've been trying to work on it. I do have the improvement, but then improvement comes when I know that things are going according to the beat. Like when something is off-putting and the day isn't going so well, then the procrastination gets the best out of me. So that is my biggest nemesis.
In your opinion, why most of us you have this tendency of procrastinating? There is a reason for that?
The thing is, processing reality. I think that's different for everybody. Some people process it in a few hours, some people process it in a few days. There are even people who process it in a few weeks, because the situation, how they're taking it in, and then they find that, as soon as you get that's in the past and you need to work what's in the present, you move past it. But then that self-pitiness and like sympathy for yourself, that kind of like fuels up the whole idea of procrastination.
Amazing. All right. Next question. Let's do it. Yes, there is always a little dance before each question.
I'm just going to say this. Your profile photo on Facebook, it does no justice to how friendly and fun you are, because that's more of a serious photo, isn't it? So it's like, it's more like, this guy who does like wildlife shooting and stuff. But when I'm talking to you, like you have this lighting up energy that's like fireworks. So it's amazing.
That picture actually was taken before when I think 2020. I think I was with a friend visiting one of those those houses in England somewhere. I don't remember what it was. And they had the cowboy hat as well at the time. And I was like, oh, you know what? And he was taking picture, and I was like, oh, I like this picture. I said, okay, I'm gonna put it on.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Next question for you is: do you have any nicknames?
I mean, I go by Vick. But nicknames, I don't know. They're. I mean, time after time, you always have this one or two friends who just randomly call you things. So I think I've got like Big Dog. Big Dog, I think. I mean, not much that I remember of, because it's very seasonal kind of things. Because you meet certain kind of people, they immediately go for this big man, big dog, those kind of things. So yeah.
And growing up, did you have any growing up your family, or they always called you Vick?
Vick, yeah. It's always been like that, yeah. Some family members Vicky, but then Vick has always been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, so you were born in England, but your parents are from Malaysia, yeah?
I was born in Malaysia. I grew up in England.
Oh, I see. And did you get to go back sometimes growing up or not?
So what happens is after my education, my diploma. So what I did is I decided to explore a bit. So after getting my education, I've been traveling around and working in Asia for the last 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
So I just make the decision of, maybe if I go travel and do these things, I gain more experience. When I come back, it'll be easier. So the idea was 2 or 3 years maximum. But then I started off in Singapore, in the Philippines, and then in Malaysia, and then it just got caught up with the whole idea. And then when I finally decided to make a move, London wasn't very giving in a job-wise. But then I think it's time for me to go back to the UK.
I see. And growing up at home, did you always have your mother language at home, or English was the first?
It was always English, yes.
Always English. All right. Next question for you is: what is one food you could eat for the rest of your life?
Easy. Burgers. A good juicy burger. A pint of Guinness. And hot wings.
Oh, how about dessert? Just to close the menu, is something that you like a lot.
Dessert. I don't know. It's not that I don't like desserts. I'm just that one thing doesn't naturally is that. But then it'll probably be something like something chocolatey, I think.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you like cooking, Vick?
I love cooking. I think cooking is my love language. It's how I express, like special days and special people. That's how I usually express. Cooking is always, for me, it's a form of expression for me, apart from acting. So yeah.
Very good. Next one. Let's do it. All right. Next question for you is: what is the best first date have you ever been on?
Ooh, I don't. First date is a tough one. I don't know. I never really did something very extreme for a first date, because you don't want to come off too strong. But then I think most interesting date I've had was on a full-on jungle hike. So we moved away from the trails and just climbed up by the river. So we were lost, and then we found our way. Then the rivers were the direction. So I think that's a good balance, because I love the outdoors, and something like that. Yeah, that's amazing.
Are you in a relationship right now, or you're single?
No, I'm single at the moment.
So tell me, girls watching the interview right now, would you like to go on a date with you? What they must have, and what they must not have?
I don't know what they must have and what they should not have, but then I would really appreciate someone who has a good sense of manners. Manners is something very important for me, and someone who's interesting to keep a conversation going. And I mean, the no things are simple. It's the right opposite of what I just said, being rude, especially when you have people, because I'm very like, strangers and me are like, we have like, we could be friends for a long time, that's how I talk, but then being rude, that's definitely a no-go for me.
And you being a psychologist, do you kind of use your strategy to get to know the person the first time, or kind of you relax a bit and just see?
So what happens is, if I'm really interested in someone, like really interested, then yes, I kind of go back, relate to those things. But then after the second date, if it's working well, I drop it, because I want to enjoy the process rather than trying to get a step ahead. Or, you know, that's not very nice for the other person if you know exactly what you're doing and stuff like that. So after the second date, I kind of like push it all away and focus more on being present at the moment.
Do you think that someone going on a date with you, they'll get a bit intimidated knowing that you're a psychologist, or it doesn't matter in your opinion?
Not really. I've never met anyone who is intimidated. It's just always the joke of, okay, read me, study me, read me, study me. It's that's the most common thing that I get. But then it's yeah, I mean, I don't. It's like I don't want to be in work all the time. So I only read basic stuff to know that if like this person is responding, like is this person interested, or how to further express myself to this person. So those kind of things only. Other than that, no, I don't. I draw the line back.
Next one. Last question. Vic, before the next question, tell me what's the best part of acting in your opinion? What's the most joy of it? And also, what's the most challenging part?
The most exciting part is, it's kind of like taking your perception of few. Acting for me is it's like cooking. You take a base, you add the ingredients, you add this character, you add what this person would look like, you add what this person would react like, this is how this person thinks like. Those are the ingredients of like a few different things of a character. Okay, when you put that character together and mix all the ingredients up, that's where you have this character. So I think that whole process is so interesting, because you and I, or another actor, won't actually process or develop a character the same way. We could get the base of the character, but then the rest of the ingredients are something that we're picking up from different places. And we mix it up together. That's what makes one person to another person. That's why when you watch a movie, you kind of understand like, okay, why would this person be better for this role? Or how would this person do this role? Because you kind of get the essence of the person, the ingredients they bring to that particular dish that brings up the acting role in it. I mean, the most challenging part is obvious. It's actually getting the acting job.
And do you believe that London is the best place in England for that?
I believe it's one of the best because of how competitive it is. And also, if there's competitiveness, that means they're looking for something out of the ordinary. So if you find ways to stand out and certain roles kind of fit you, then I think it's an amazing place. Los Angeles, I believe, is another amazing place, but I think it's too heavy for me, especially when you're starting off as an actor. So when I was in London, I was trying out, I felt the balance was good. So that's why I want to keep going back to London to get my acting career on the go.
All right. Next question is, what's your funniest memory of your time at school?
But then, I don't know if this is funny, but then when I think about it now, it's funny. Back then, it wasn't funny. So I had like a big crush on a girl. And then I also had a friend and this girl who you know, they kind of had these things, like they were flirtatious, but then they were not dating anything. So one day, to express myself, I actually wrote a letter saying how much I like her, I have a crush on her, but then I made it anonymous.
Oh.
I didn't write from who is it, and I was hoping like she would like, who is it, and I, like after a few days I would like go and like, hey, it's me, I get the letter and stuff like that. So I just slid it under her desk. Little did I know that when she read the letter, she was joyed, but then the friend that I had, who had this thing going on, like split issues, owned up to actually writing the letter, and they got together.
Oh my God.
So when I think about it now, it's actually funny. But then back then, it was as a kid, it was not funny at all. But then now when I think about it, yeah, it's humorous. Yes.
For you, oh my goodness. It meant to be this way.
I mean, in a way, I always look at it that way. If it didn't work out, there's a reason why I'm here today. If it works out, there's also a reason why I'm here today. So it is what it is.
Absolutely. Ready for another one?
Yes. Let's go.
Next question. All right, Vick. Next question is, how would you describe a perfect, healthy relationship?
Companionship. And not companionship, compatibility. I feel compatibility is one of, if not the most important thing in a relationship, personally. I'm talking this out of what I've experienced before, and I think it should be existing in a relationship. Compatibility, it's like even communications, you can work your way through it. You can understand how this person gets things or how you talk things, but compatibility, it's whether it's there or not.
Question for you. In your opinion, there is always a controversy. People, they always think when people they are completely the opposite, it's a good thing. They match well. But some other people say it doesn't work because they are totally different people. But when they are like they have similarity, they like the same things. Do you think that, in your opinion, which one is more capable to be together? The very opposite ones or the more similar ones?
I think other than compatibility, the next thing is balance. Balance is important. So as far as they're far apart and different, it also depends on what they're far apart and different. If one likes like classical music and the other one like rock music, when they share each other's experiences, they learn new things, they like new things. So in that ways that work. Mm-hmm. But then if certain things in the relationship that are complete opposites, let's say one person feels like they should keep fighting till things get better, or the other person thinks that they should be calm and quiet. Those opposites, it's definitely going to repel. So I think the answer I would give is the balance is important. A bit too much or too little of anything is bad.
I see. All right. Next one. Next question for you is, if I would ask your best friend right now to define yourself in one positive word and one negative word, what they would say?
I know the negative thing they would say is that I have this problem where I kind of were aware of this because when people tell them certain things, if I'm going and focus, I'm pursuing something, or I'm going traveling or stuff like this, I keep very close, not even a close circle. I keep it very private. I never announce like, okay, I'm going there, I'm going here, or I'm working on this. I never knew, unless they see. It's like, wait, what are you doing there? When did you go there? That's what they find out, because I've always had this thing. I don't like people keeping track of me, so I tend to disappear quite a bit, and that's one thing. My friends don't really like about me. Good thing, I don't know. I think good thing, I'm just very good with people in general. If I go to a place, I can just mingle, and then 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, so it just multiplies to a group eventually. So that kind of thing.
Very good. Right, I have 3 questions left for you.
Perfect.
Let's
okay.
do it. Okay. Right. Next question is, what did you think was the most challenging part of being a kid?
not getting your creativity understood.
Good point.
Like certain times you have certain ideas where you feel if you had pursued it, things would have been much different. But then when you're suppressed and wanted things to be more normal, then the child element of it dies. I think that's what most adults lack, the child element of just imagination of like, there's once someone asked me this, when is the last time you randomly just ran? Like, let's say you're in the kitchen and you want to go to the living room. When is the last time you just, you know what, I just feel like running, I randomly run. I'm not talking like going for a run, like just randomly running or hopping. But as a child, you used to do that so often because it's just, you used to be so much more free in your head. So the connection that's been lost with the child and adult, that's something I'm working on myself as well.
Yes, I believe some parents, like overall, sometimes they should be more aware of the creativity of their kids. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're just growing up. They're like literally showing themselves who they are or how they're going to express themselves, and little things. I think we should support them and see those little things and let them be.
Why don't you take something that's meant to be special rather than generically making it normal? So, yeah.
Good one. 2 questions left. Let's do
okay, perfect.
But before the next question, let's see. You have the power right now to choose anywhere in the world to play with you a scene or a movie, to be your romantic partner, someone to be your parents, like your mom, your dad, and the director to do it. Let's see. All those big companies, they got the biggest budgets to support you, and you have this power to choose who that will be.
The director, I've always had this because I'm a big actor-wise, I'm a big Johnny Depp fan. Wow. So if a director I could work with, it would definitely be Tim Burton.
Okay.
But then I've always had this idea of, I want my own Tim Burton.
Wow.
Like how the pairing of Johnny Depp and Tim Burton, they make this work and stuff. I want my own pairing with my own version of Tim Burton, that we could do movies like that. I'm a sucker for like those kind of old school horror movies. I love old school horror movies. Not like this possession or stuff like that, like proper vampire Frankenstein, those kind of things. I love it. And I love dark comedy. So it will be somewhere along that line of movies with Tim Burton, like a dark comedy horror kind of thing. So that would be ideal for me. Location, it would be nice in Hawaii, but then realistically maybe in Transylvania, that would be nice.
How about the romantic partner?
My crushes over the years keep turning, like changing from time again and again. I'm just gonna go with my instinct of my first crush. My first crush was Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Ooh. Wow.
In the movie Zorro.
All right.
Beautiful. So I'm going to go with her, yes.
Very good. Next question is, do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
I don't believe. It's not, no, let me take that back. It's not whether I believe. I feel like no matter who you talk to, you might see that person is living their life to the fullest, but then they might not see the same. Like I have so many people who come up and to me and tell, like, look, I'm jealous of how you travel, you go around and you do things and stuff like this, but then I am not living my life to the fullest because I am not where I want to be. I'm not doing what I want to do. So it's always, I think one of the biggest problems is that I really dislike about this generation is how social media has been projecting someone to be. Because they could make it seem like they're living to the life to the fullest, but then in reality, it's something else. I'm sure you have these people, you've seen this, who live like this life, like I thought everything, like I'm living life on the highest level, but then you know this person is emotionally, mentally not there.
I think it's a social media, in my opinion, they try or they sell the perfection, what doesn't exist.
Yes. So
But I think nowadays, for some reason, I have a feeling that people, they are more themselves over there. They're, there's both sides. There are the people that they are literally showing this perfection, and the other side as well, there are people that they are trying literally just to
yes
reality out there.
But then again, it all comes down to the balance. I mean,
Yeah.
It's the same reason of this is how I see it. I feel like personally, I mean, there's a whole group of people who like this, but when it comes to films, I don't like films that are too extremely realistic. Like you see this and then you okay, let me give you an example.
Yep.
It's a very good movie, but then I dislike it because of how realistic it is. It's a really good movie. 500 Days of Summer.
Yes, I know, yeah.
When you see that movie, it's like so relatable.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. It's so relatable. You hate it because of how realistic it is.
Yeah.
Okay. But then the whole idea of films was made like it's important for these films to be there. But then also the whole idea that films were made in the first place is a form of entertainment to transport you to a different world or different time where you can forget about everything. That is what I like to focus on. Like that's my idea of films. Same like for social media. I believe social media is just a way of sharing what you're doing and what you like and what you don't like and living your life at the time. So I think if you go around that, I think it would make more sense than rather than trying to show too much or make people like constantly having understand what you're trying to say. So yeah.
Ready for the last question?
Yes.
Last one. Let's do it. You like dancing?
Not
in front of someone like me, like moving like crazy, yeah?
My dancing days are behind me at the moment. I used to like freak out and like when I used to go out and stuff, I used to love dancing but now I just maybe I don't really have that opportunity that I want to go out that way. Also, maybe I'm losing touch or getting old. I don't know.
Before the last question, Vic, tell me, people watching the interview right now, would you like to start a career in acting? Yeah. What would be your best piece of advice?
For myself or for others?
For others, people that are watching the interview right now.
I think the biggest advice I can only give is start somewhere. I mean, get the idea of what kind of actor you want to be. I think that's the most important. Like if you want to be like a mainstream movie star or do big movies, I mean, you have to start somewhere with that. But then for people who are more character driven, like they want very specific roles, study those characters that you like, work on those kind of auditions that are similar to that. And yeah, I mean, do take part in short films first, get your, nowadays one of the biggest things that I've been noticing is showreels is a very big thing. Along with your profile, you need a showreel of things that you've done and acted before. All those comes from like volunteer work or like small short films. So that's what I can say based on what I've been so far.
Right. Last question is, talk about romantic before. What's the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
So my previous girlfriend, we were away for a couple of months. She moved to a different city and then we were for a couple of months. And she wrote me a set of envelopes. Envelopes like when it's raining, when you're sad, when it's your birthday, or when you went out for this, or like special occasions. So everything had an envelope. So there was about 30 different envelopes. So
wow.
For each occasion, I could open an envelope and I could read about it. Like if I'm getting like if I went somewhere, if I have a hangover, those kind of things. So I think it's going to be very difficult to top, but then that's definitely, the most romantic thing someone's done.
I love the idea now. My goodness, you're just giving idea away now for people to do that. I love it.
And it's going to go out to the world. And
yeah, I love it. Right, not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Life.
Light.
One word for love.
Love.
Yep.
Rare.
Money.
Power.
Family.
Blessing.
One word for sex.
Expression.
Politics.
It's a gamble.
Religion.
Humanity.
Fear.
Exploration.
Friendship.
Cherish.
Desire.
Endless.
Regret.
Experience.
Success.
Can I answer it in a few words?
Yes, absolutely.
It's measured by our own selves.
Nice one. Wish.
Countless.
I like this word, calculus. Amazing.
Countless, but I also want to make just generally like the world should be a better place. If the world is a better place, I'm living in a better world, I'm in a better place.
Happiness.
Tailored.
Newcastle, one word.
Home.
How about London?
Where life begins.
Wow. One word for Malaysia.
Tropical.
One word for psychologist.
Understanding.
And the last one now, acting, one word.
I'm going to reuse the word that you showed me earlier, desire.
Wow. Right, let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, what is the most beautiful thing about Vick, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What they would say?
I already know the answers that all my friends will tell me is time management.
To work on?
Time management, always showing up. I have to show up on time. But then recently, over the maybe a year or two, it's much better. Before I had like a massive time management problem. Recently, it's been way better. I have to say it for myself because I've been working on it. My time management has been way more better. And the other one was a good thing, is that
Yes, something beautiful about yourself.
I hope they realized this about me, but then they haven't really told us in a nutshell. I mean, it's in a nutshell, this is what they say, but then this is not literally what they say. So they would say that I dream and I work on getting it done. Instead of fitting in the regular frame that every human has to go through, every person has to go through. I've tried so much to not to be boxed up in a daily, everyday routine lifestyle of a person.
Good one. Let's play now Vick and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. All right, you can ask me a question now.
Can I ask two?
Absolutely, certainly can.
Okay. So first question is one I was thinking about. So you're that means you're interviewing a person almost on a daily basis.
Yes, I mean the show goes on every night at 10 p.m. UK time, but sometimes yesterday I had 4 interviews. Today I have another few, so it's sometimes, but it depends. Sometimes I have one,
So
but
it's
most
almost 800 people now you have interviewed.
I just reached 700. I mean, if I put it on all of them, like some of them didn't work out for some reason, I couldn't publish, I would be like more than 800 for sure.
Okay, my question is, what made you want to start this, of the idea of magic box? And what have you learned from people in general when you interview them?
Wow, good question. Right. Should I take another hour to answer that? Right. I strongly believe that all of us, we can do different things in life and still be happy, still find our way, still pay our bills, and still feel like, okay, I love what I'm doing. But I was asking this question to myself like a lot of times, and I couldn't find an answer. And again, I could do different things and still be happy. 2020, when the world went upside down, I went for a run in the park. We could leave, I don't know if you remember, we could leave the house once a day or 1 hour, something like that. I went for a run in the park and I was already thinking, my goodness, I would like to do something that's creativity, like something creative that I can connect with people. And I was on and on, like I'm thinking every day, you know what I mean? And suddenly, I remember the moment, I remember the place where this idea came along. I was like, I literally stopped running because it was so powerful. And my head started like going on and on. I was like, my goodness, and I couldn't follow my thoughts anymore. And saying that, this interaction that I'm doing in the show, I've always done that. Where people who knows me are best friends, they go like, all the time when we met ourselves, like barbecues, traveling, or even at any place, there's always a moment of the party of the meeting that will go like, okay, tell me something interesting about your childhood. Who was your favorite teacher? When I look back, even when I was a teenager as well, I was doing that, like at school.
Yeah, and questions, yeah.
So they're always there. It's so funny how sometimes we keep like looking for our past in life, and it was here, but I didn't know it. You know what I mean? And suddenly this idea came along. Like I said, okay, I remember writing questions. I remember doing search. I have pictures of myself in my bed, like with all the questions, like try to organize everything. And here I am. Tomorrow is going to be 2 years tomorrow since I launched the show. Tomorrow.
Congratulations. So is this like the 2-year finale that I'm doing?
You're gonna be part of the 2 years because this interview is gonna come live sometime next week. But yeah, you kind of I'm interviewing you before
the 2-year finale. Yeah, but it's amazing. I was just reading about this like a few days ago. I don't think I'll be able to quote it because I don't remember the exact words. But that when someone has been constantly thinking about ideas, the ideas will come flooding back into your head when you're ready.
Good one, actually. And actually, I was thinking about that the other day, something similar. I was thinking, if I would have the same idea, let's say 10 years ago, I don't think I would be enjoying the much I am right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a different place in life.
It's a different place, and I'm so glad that came along at the right time, because in this time in my life, because all of us, we were facing like a very challenging time back in 2020, and so including myself. And suddenly this idea just came along, and it just like, you know what I mean, makes me the happiest person in the world. If I would see someone doing this interaction, I would go like, oh my God, I'd love to.
Yes, why did I think about it? Yeah, okay.
So it's so powerful that that's how everything started.
Perfect. My second question is, who is one person that you wish you could interview like this with your magic box concept? Someone you admire, or someone who's been a influence, or someone you admire in your life?
Right, I'm going to answer this question in 2 ways. Yeah, that now, because I'm doing Portuguese as well, I started doing Portuguese, my first language. I would like to do. I know this entertainer called Xuxa. I grew up watching her. So I've got this entertainer. Everyone who knows me knows how much I love her. I grew up with her. This mindset of being positive and go after my dreams. There's something that I shared in the show, but something that I grew up with her. She was this, a dolly, like this Barbie doll, come every morning, the Starship, open. All my generation, the 80s, they love her. She's like, she raised the whole 80s children at the time. Anyway, so I'd like to interview her.
Whole generation of followers, yeah.
Yeah, like literally. So everyone who knows her knows I'm talking about. Her name is Xuxa. South America, Spain, she was huge still, but at the time she was just like this big star. And on the show, I would say Prince William. I would love to interview him. I think he's someone that I always had admiration for him. Actually, we were born the same year, 1982. Okay. I always had this admiration for him. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because his mom, and I think he's doing so well with his family right now. He just wants to, you know what I mean, to to do the same mistakes that their parents and the trouble they had. That I think he's doing so well, and I'd love to have him on the show. I think, and actually, I'm sure one day it will happen somehow. I don't know.
It only takes a matter of someone showing him a video of this to know, hey, listen, I like what this guy is doing. Let's make it happen.
Again, it's the universe, you know what I mean? Everything's frozen in the universe, and you never know what can come along. But I have a feeling. I just, you know, and I'd love to. I'd love just to talk to him. Then, you know what I mean? How, I don't know, like not very basic, the same interaction I'm doing in the Magic Box, like those random questions. You know, I mean, imagine he answered this kind of romantic questions, some things that nobody knows or someone never thought about. I think would be interesting and fun.
It's amazing. I hope that happens for you.
Yes, and you're gonna look back and like, goodness, we talk about that. Now it's happening.
The 2-year finale. They happened on 2-year finale.
Vic, did you enjoy the interview? Did you have a good time?
It's amazing. It's better than what I expected it to be. It's amazing, and I think you're doing an amazing job. It's an amazing idea that you kind of get people to talking about things. It reminds them of who they really are. So that's amazing.
Thanks so much. I think the whole idea of the show is about being yourself. You know what I mean? It's about people express themselves, and you never know who is watching the interview and is going to connect with us as well, and just you know, make them realize that you're not alone out there. Whatever you are facing in life, could be challenges, could be something very beautiful, powerful. There's always someone as well sharing the same experience. That's what makes
yes.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
It's going back to, I think we should all be it doesn't cost anything to be kind. So just be kind to one another. And I believe that for the state the world is in right now, I mean, there are a lot of people who are making good changes, like saving the environment and stuff like this. If you could just be passionate and understanding about one organization or one part of how this thing makes the world better, keep track of it, see what you can do and make that happen. It just takes one small step to make a difference in the world. That's all.
At the end of the day, I strongly believe that when you do a kind gesture, when you be kind, literally you're being kind to yourself, because it's gonna get back to you.
It comes back, yes.
Vic, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
You too.
Keep in touch. Enjoy your day.
So much. Yes, all the best. Take care.
Take care.
And
bye-bye.
It was an honor being in this show today.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.